Coming up on State of Events, registered to vote yet? Hannah Pack, our state beat reporter, will tell you how you can still vote.
And pipe bomber Cesar Sayoc found with a list of hundreds of prominent Democrat victims during first court appearance.
Later, we get an update on the Chase Center, the Warriors' future home in San Francisco. State of Events starts now. Welcome to State of Events. I'm Ashley Stevens.
And I'm Jessica Murray. Let's get down to this week's top stories.
President Donald Trump is set to visit the Pittsburgh community after Robert Bowers, the man accused of massacring 11 congregants in a synagogue, appeared in court yesterday.
A hate-filled crime was committed last Saturday when a gunman opened fire in a synagogue located in one of Pittsburgh's biggest Jewish communities. The White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders announced at a news briefing that the president plans to visit the Jewish community today to show his support and grief for the lives that were lost. But community representatives do not think the president should visit yet. They want to give families and friends of the community time to privately grieve.
Try to get the message out to the White House that our priority tomorrow is the first funeral. If he were to visit, choose a different time to be able to do it.
For State of Events, Alexis Gonzalez.
The Florida man suspected of mailing over 14 pipe bombs to prominent Democrats around the country, Cesar Sayoc, had his first court appearance this morning. Sayoc faces 5 federal charges, including interstate transportation of an explosive, illegal mailing of explosives, threats against former presidents and other persons, threatening interstate communications, and assaulting current and former federal officers. Sayoc could face up to 48 years in prison if he's convicted.
Thousands of migrants continue their long journey to the United States from Guatemala. The migrant caravan are currently in Mexico, where most of the migrants are making the journey by foot. Others are hitching rides. They are stopping at rivers to bathe, wash clothes, and are currently receiving help from Grupo Beto. Mexican's Migrant Protection Agency have been giving rides to stragglers. Those making the trip are in search of jobs, escaping hate and violent persecution, and are searching for family members that have already made the trip to the United States.
I'm here. I was crossing the continent of America to go to USA or Canada, because in my country we don't have peace. We're fighting between us, and the government is there. It's not belong to us. I'm opposite of the government.
President Donald Trump has been thinking about using a travel-like ban to halt the caravan to block certain asylum seekers at the Mexican border. The plan will likely face a variety of legal challenges as it is only in its beginning stages. Another U.S.-bound caravan plans to leave this week from El Salvador.
8 Saudi nationals are being investigated for the intentional homicide with premeditation in the death of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was allegedly tortured and murdered in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Saudi Arabian officials had originally claimed Khashoggi left the consulate alive and then claimed he had died in a fistfight with consulate workers. Now the Saudis have admitted that Khashoggi's death does appear to be a murder that occurred inside the consulate. Khashoggi's fiancée has since declined President Donald Trump's invitation to the White House, citing conflicting statements made by the president in regards to the role of the Saudis in Khashoggi's disappearance.
Large companies such as Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, and Google owner Alphabet have slumped in recent months amid a global market downturn. Facebook posted the largest single drop in market value in U.S. history on July 26th earlier this year after falling 19% with a $120 billion loss in market value. Though the market has had some volatile months lately, many financial analysts suggest that the instability could potentially benefit patient investors who look to buy shares at a discount and hold them for the long term.
The Food and Drug Association approved a new flu treatment for people showing flu symptoms for less than 48 hours. According to U.S. News, Xofluza is an oral treatment for people aged 12 and older. According to NBC, a 2016 to 2017 study reported that the drug shortened the time that people were sick. from about 3.3 days to 2.5 days, while Xofluza treats flu symptoms. FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb does not believe it is a substitute for a vaccination. The U.S. Center for Disease Control recommends getting a flu shot by the end of October. California reporter Hannah Pack is here to give us more information on the upcoming elections.
We are just 1 week away from Election Day, and we are back with more candidates and proposition information. The candidates for California's treasurer are Republican Greg Conlon and Democrat Fiona Ma. The Democratic candidate for Attorney General is Xavier Becerra, and the Republican candidate is Stephen Bailey. The candidates for Insurance Commissioner are Democrat Ricardo Lara and Steve Poizner, who is running with no political party preference. Among the 12 propositions, a vote yes on Prop 10 would mean state law would not limit rent control laws that cities and counties could have. Voting yes on Proposition 11 would mean that private ambulance companies could continue having EMTs and paramedics on call during their breaks. And if you missed last week's voter registration deadline, there is still a way to conditionally register to vote. People eligible can go to their county elections office or a designated satellite location to register and vote conditionally. The ballots will be processed and votes recorded after the county elections office completes the voter registration verification process. The time frame to register conditionally ends on Election Day, November 6th.
A man and a woman fell to their deaths in Yosemite National Park on Thursday. The couple dropped 800 feet from Taft Point, a popular cliff with no railings, where visitors can walk to the edge to take pictures. More than 4 million visitors to every park. More than 4 million visitors travel to every park every year, especially on some of the more crowded peaks, has been a topic of discussion lately. This year alone, 6 people have died from falling off cliffs. Coming up on State of Events, we follow the sinking story of the Millennium Tower. Now investigators say $500 million is needed for repairs.
San Francisco State University offers an unusual experimental class where students can create their own curriculum.
And Halloween is right around the corner. We'll take a look at many of the local events for everyone to enjoy.
Welcome back to State of Events. In San Francisco, hotel workers continue to strike, and a new proposition could raise money for the homeless.
San Francisco City reporter Alexis Gonzalez is here to tell us what's new in the city.
Thanks, guys. The ongoing hotel strike has several conference event organizers questioning their moral stance on the situation. It has been 4 weeks since hotel workers began striking outside of several Marriott Marquis hotels to fight for livable wages. Since the beginning of the strike, both the hotel and conferences have lost a substantial amount of money due to several event cancellations. Events such as the 2018 ComNet Conference, the Human Rights Campaign, and the Shanti Project have moved their venues to other hotels in the city, in despite of the high costs. The CEO of the Communications Network, Sean Gibbons, stated that although its organization lost more than $300,000 due to the abrupt change, the board does not regret doing what they thought was right. Spokesman for the Marriott Hotel has stated that the hotel will continue to operate and that they would like for the issue to be resolved at the bargaining table rather than a strike. As of now, a solution has not been reached. A second cracked glass panel was discovered between the 9th and 10th floors of the Millennium Tower during an inspection last Tuesday. San Francisco's Department of Building Inspection immediately ordered the managers of the Millennium Tower to place about 80 feet of protective scaffolding because they believed that the crack could be a safety hazard to the public. However, since the panel was not located near any residential buildings and the crack was covered with safety tape and boards, officials have officially decided to remove the notice. The cracked window is believed to have been caused by something hitting it from the outside. The Millennium Tower managers say that it is set to be fixed next Wednesday. Proposition C, the San Francisco ballot measure on homelessness, has stirred some concern in the tech industry. The ballot measure that would increase gross received taxes by 5% in order to raise money for homeless services has caused a debate between homeless advocates and the tech industry. Tech companies argue that the ballot is unfair because each company would be paying a different amount of money. Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Square, the software marketing company, stated that if the ballot passed, the company would have to pay double the money that it has had to pay in the past years. Although advocates are sure that the ballot could benefit San Francisco in its growing homeless problem, others are worried that the money will not be accountable or that jobs could be affected. San Francisco supervisors made the unanimous decision to suspend all funding to the Trans-Bay Joint Powers Authority last Tuesday. The Trans-Bay Joint Powers Authority will not be able to oversee the reconstruction of the transit center for at least 3 to 6 months. Supervisors will use the time to determine which agency will take over the phase 2 of the reconstruction. During the next following weeks, samples will be taken from the transit center in order to finally determine what exactly caused the cracked beams. Melanie Woodrow from ABC 7 News recently announced via Twitter that the results will be back mid-December, and only then will we know when the Trans-Bay Center will reopen. Back to you.
With Halloween right around the corner, the Teal Pumpkin Project is doing its part in assuring safe and fun Halloween for children with life-threatening food allergies. 1 in 13 children have food allergies. Even a tiny bit of their allergen may cause a severe reaction. Food Allergy Research and Education, or FAIR, raises awareness year-round and supports the spread in the event of Halloween. Being a food-centered event, especially for children, is hard for those with allergies. So the Teal Pumpkin Project allows both kids and their parents peace of mind along with a fun-filled night. To participate, all you have to do is place a teal pumpkin outside your front door, provide non-food treats to trick-or-treaters, place your address on the Teal Pumpkin Project map, and spread the word.
Yet another unusual surprise scared BART riders Monday afternoon after a man was holding a chainsaw, then opened another box containing another chainsaw. A woman tweeted a video to BART expressing her worry for everyone's safety. BART responded quickly, asking to send specifics to dispatch via the BART Watch app. The man got off at the Lake Merritt stop, leading to many more phone calls to 911 from the people on the platform. Additional details have not been released.
We now head over to Isabel Cabral, our SF State beat reporter.
Isabel, how is the new Becca building coming along?
They definitely are making a lot of progress. San Francisco State University is now breaking ground for the new Broadcasting and Electronic Communication Arts building. On October 26, President Wong, along with KPIX sportscaster and SFSU alum Dennis O'Donnell, led an event for all faculty and staff to commemorate the start of construction. The new building will be ready by fall 2020. To see the live progress of the construction, go to campusmemo.sfsu.edu. If you are seeking a few extra units, look into San Francisco State's Experimental College. State of Events reporter Hannah Pack has more on the story.
The Experimental College at San Francisco State University is a program for students to teach classes to other students. Kathy Emery, the director of the Experimental College, explains how the program works.
So only undergraduate students at State can teach at the moment, and any student can sign up for a course. It's a 1-unit course. Students who want to become EXCO teachers, they have to submit a proposal to me, and then my advisory board and we look at it, and we approve it, and then it's sent to the Curriculum Review and Approval Committee, and they will approve it, probably, and then the students are off and running.
Students create the course, syllabi, and assignments. Courses in the Experimental College range from Salafi jihadism to teaching through superheroes.
So the class that I'm teaching is called Salafi jihadism, an examination of the threat. And what Salafi jihadism is It's the ideology of organizations such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. So the point of this class is to understand why these groups do the things that they do. Like, for example, why did Al-Qaeda hit us on 9/11? A lot of people don't know. Why did ISIS attack France?
Stephanie Martin shares information about the class that she teaches.
So the class I teach is teaching through superheroes, and it's pretty much I teach the subject matter of superheroes and like the history that's around it, and like sometimes, you know, like for instance, we read Wonder Woman. I talked about like the World War II history and how pretty much like comic books play like a big influence during the wartime, as well as a lot of like queer and like feminist themes that go with on the early comic books.
For more information, visit sfstateexco.org. In San Francisco for State of Events, I'm Hannah Pack.
Halloween is coming up, and San Francisco State is having its annual Spooky Halloween piano concert led by Inara Morgenstern and Victoria Neve, joined by a mezzo-soprano vocalist, Ariella Morgenstern. This free event has been the university's tradition for more than 25 years and is held at Knuth Hall, a creative arts building, from 1 to 2 p.m. tomorrow. San Francisco State students kick-started their Halloween celebration during the 9th annual costume dodgeball tournament. On October 25th, teams participated in the dodgeball tournament held at Mashouf Wellness Center with their costumes. Students were giving lots of treats such as haunted house and prizes for the winners. Back to you, Ashley.
Coming up next, San Francisco State men's soccer is heading to the UC Santa Barbara, and men's basketball is kicking off the 2018 San Francisco State Classic.
And later, we'll give you the best scary movies to binge on Netflix tomorrow night. More on that next.
State of Events, Golden State Warrior star Steph Curry is heating up to begin the season. And later, we are joined by our entertainment reporter, Gianni Bagnorello.
This and more on Bay Area Sports with reporter Kendall Hogan.
Thanks, guys. Men's basketball headed to Nevada for an exhibition match against the Division I Nevada Wolfpack. Ryan Williams was the highlight of the game for the Gators as he scored a double-double with 22 points and 12 rebounds in just 25 minutes played. The Gators held the lead going into halftime with a score of 39-38. Unfortunately, the Wolfpack found their rhythm and managed to score 47 in the second half to beat SF State by a final score of 85-60. Men's soccer clinched the 5th seed over the weekend. They will head to UC Santa Barbara for the first round of the playoffs, where they will face the 4-seed Cal State San Bernardino today at 2 p.m. Women's soccer finished off the season beating UC Merced in a non-conference season finale. They clinched the 4th seed and will host 5th seed Cal State San Marcos in the first round of the CCAA Championships today. Kickoff is set for 3 p.m. On senior night, women's volleyball swept Cal State Monterey Bay. The sweep is the 9th of the season for the SF State Gators, who are still looking to clinch the postseason berth as they face Sonoma State this Thursday at home before wrapping up the season at Humboldt State this upcoming Saturday. Our SF State Gators men's and women's basketball is tipping off this coming week. The men faced the University of Nevada in Reno for an exhibition game this last Friday. This is the first full season of coaching for the men's basketball team for head coach Vince Inglima, who was the interim coach for the last 10 games of the season. The Gators have 8 players returning this season and look to compete this weekend in the San Francisco State Tip-Off Classic. The women's team is coming off of a disappointing 2017-2018 season and looking to capitalize this year. The women's basketball team also has a first-year head coach, Natasha Smith, who previously coached at the University of San Francisco. The women have their first exhibition game against the University of the Pacific this Friday night at 7 p.m. in Stockton. The Boston Red Sox have officially won their 4th World Series title in the last 15 years after defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-1 at Chavez Ravine Sunday night. The Red Sox took a quick 2-0 lead in the series, securing both games at home in Boston early last week. They returned to LA for the following 3 games and ended the series winning 4-1. Lefty David Price took the mound for the Red Sox following a quick 2-run homer in the top of the first by Pierce off Dodgers lefty Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers responded in the bottom of the inning with a home run themselves. However, it was the only run scored for LA, dropping the series at home. This was the Dodgers' second World Series loss in the last 2 years. The Warriors' last season in beloved Oracle Arena has begun, as they will move to the new high-tech Chase Center in the Mission Bay neighborhood of San Francisco next season. The 900,000 square foot arena is a multi-purpose center privately financed for $500 million. The arena has a seating capacity of 18,000, and the rest of the area will feature a theater, 100,000 square feet of retail space, as well as parking and housing. Moving the Warriors across the Bay has been highly criticized due to the rising cost of tickets, the issue of parking, and losing the atmosphere that the city of Oakland brought to Oracle Arena. Oracle Arena has been home of the Warriors since 1971. The loud home court advantage that has brought home 4 championships since 1975. The Chase Center broke ground January 2017 and will open fall 2019 as the Warriors look to carry their successes over to their new arena. There's been some way too early MVP talk for the Golden State Warriors' Steph Curry following his hot start to the 2018-2019 season. Last Wednesday, the Warriors faced the Washington Wizards, and Curry went off for 51 points, going 15 for 24 in field goals in just 3 quarters. He was 11 for 16 beyond the arc, adding in 10 for 10 on free throws to total out his appearance. MVP chants rang from the stands of Oracle Arena as the Warriors finished out the game, beating the Wizards 144-122. Steph's hot streak didn't end there when the team headed to the East Coast end of last week when he went 10 for 18 with 29 points against the Knicks and 11 for 26, scoring a total 35 points against the Nets. The Warriors faced the Anthony Davis-led 4-2 Pelicans on Halloween night back in Oracle Arena. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. A shocking trade awaited Raider Nation after rumors circulated the Raiders speculating a trade for Amari Cooper in hopes of acquiring a first-round draft pick. After head coach John Gruden spoke to media outlets falsifying the accusations, ESPN reported rumors of the Dallas Cowboys' interest in the trade offer. Cooper was sent to Dallas for a first-round draft pick, and the Raiders now have 3 after trading defensive end and reigning Defensive Player of the Year Khalil Mack. Cooper was the 4th overall pick in the 2015 draft and opened his career with the Raiders, posting back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, making the Pro Bowl twice. Cooper's last 2 seasons with the Raiders have been unimpressive, but Raiders fans seem to be less impressed with the trade of 2 of the 3 fan-favorite players, as rumors are now circulating starting quarterback Derek Carr. The beginning of the 2018 NFL season has not been nice to the San Francisco 49ers. The highly anticipated season came to a screeching halt when the Niners' most promising quarterback in recent years, Jimmy Garoppolo, suffered a torn ACL during September 23rd's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Niners have now fallen to 1-7, their only win coming from Week 2 against the Detroit Lions. Garoppolo's injury isn't the only blow the Niners have taken. The team also lost running back Jerick McKinnon to a torn ACL. They signed McKinnon in the offseason for a 4-year, $30 million contract. The only hope for the 49er faithful is that they secure a top pick in the 2019 draft. They now have a 25% chance of receiving the first pick after last Sunday's loss to the Arizona Cardinals. They face their rivals across the Bay Thursday night on Thursday Night Football this week. Kickoff is 5:20 p.m. Back to you guys.
Now with us, our entertainment reporter, Gianni Bagnorella.
Thank you, Jessica. As we near midterm elections, celebrities are using their voices to speak on politics. Taylor Swift recently posted on Instagram encouraging her fans to register to vote. Meanwhile, Amy Schumer used her platform to educate her followers on representatives running. The comedian posted a list of recommended Democratic candidates and concluded her post with her own pregnancy announcement.
These are the recommendations of Amy Schumer, one of the most consistent and early supporters of News Not Noise. Now read all the way to the bottom. You'll see there's some news down there. Congratulations, Amy.
After defending blackface on the air last Tuesday, Megyn Kelly will make her departure from her namesake show, Megyn Kelly Today. The NBC host landed herself in hot water after remarking, "You do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface for Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Back when I was a kid, it was okay as long as you were dressing up as like a character." It is currently unconfirmed whether Kelly will receive the remaining $69 million left from her contract with NBC.
And Double Double told you in trouble. Starbucks is serving a lot more than cold brews this Halloween season. A Starbucks Witch Brew Frappuccino starts with a purple blend of toad's breath, orange cream Frappuccino, and a spiral of green badworts, covered with vanilla whipped cream and a dusting of green lizard scale powder. But don't delay to get your dose of Witch's Brew, because the beverage is only available for a limited amount of time.
A new kind of store that everyone is talking about. Some people consider it to be a threat to a million of American jobs, while others believe it is the future of shopping.
I'm here at the Amazon Go store in San Francisco. The store is located at the corner of California and Battery Street. Inside, you can find everything from snacks, drinks, to prepare meals, and even groceries. This is the first Amazon Go store in California, where you can simply pick out what you want and walk away. No lines, no checkout, just grab and go. But how does it work? Let's go find out.
It's great. It's super easy, super convenient. I walked in, got this in less than a minute.
This is how it works. Download the Amazon Go app in your phone. Log in into your Amazon account, scan the app, and the gates will open. Once you're inside, the store cameras will track what you pick up off the shelves. When you're done shopping, you're free to go.
It's a lot faster, makes things a lot easier, and it actually, lowers the chances of things like theft and stuff. So technology is the way of the future.
With more locations in the cities of Seattle and Chicago, Amazon is planning to open 3,000 Amazon Go stores by 2021. Reporting for State of Events, I'm Gianni Bagnarello. And it is a spooky season, and what better way to celebrate that with a little Netflix. Some of my personal favorites are classics like Children of the Corn, The Shining, Van Helsing, but we all know Netflix has great current material, so definitely venture out into newer flicks like It Follows, Live Evil, and Dead Note.
Here at SF State of Events, we love animal stories, so we headed to the Dog Fest Walk and Roll last Sunday at the Jack London Square in Oakland. Dog Fest is more than just a festival. It's a fundraiser to support the amazing job of Canine Companions for Independence.
Canine Companions provides service dogs to people with disabilities at no cost. Their funding is based on charities and donations, and the Dog Fest is one of the many ways they try to involve the community to support their mission.
She's my hearing dog. She alerts me to my phone and alarms, and she knows when people are behind me.
Service dogs aren't just born. They're raised by volunteers like Dave Lasker, who has been raising dogs with Canine Companions since 2009.
We have the dogs from 8 weeks to about a year and a half. Then they go off back to the headquarters in Santa Rosa for training with professionals for another 6 months. And then when they're about 2 years old, they'll be placed with a disabled person.
Dog Fest brings all the activities a dog owner could ever dream of, from doggy treats, food and beer, to a doggy photo booth and a poop transporter so that everyone can relax and have fun.
This is the second year. I came last year, and they pretty much, they have like great event. They're giving gifts away. They have the pet costume, and it's the camaraderie and everybody together that love their animals and support this group.
It is easy to be involved in such a wonderful cause. If you're interested about becoming a sponsor, volunteer puppy raiser, dog trainer, or simply donate to show your support, please visit cci.org. This is Gianni Bagnarello with a State of Events.
That's it for State of Events. This morning, I'm Jessica Murray.
And I'm Gianni Bagnarello. Have a great day and thanks for watching.